and you're good to go.
Hello everybody, this is Little Witch Nobeta. It's a anime third-person shooter Dark Souls game. It's taken a lot of work to get 4 runners at the same place at the same time for this game. We're here.
Maybe you can do the presentation, Shen.
Do the what? The
like,
whole thing?
Present yourself first, and then you're like, you know.
Oh, introductions. Okay.
Yeah, introductions.
Yeah, I'm Shengon. I do this. I do fighting games. And that's mostly it.
I am eveldee. I mostly speedrun Nobeta and don't do a lot of other games. And I'm really glad to be here for the research and said it was not easy to organize this, and I hope it's going to be fine. And we're also running with Mian.
Yeah, I'm Mian. I don't speedrun this game too actively anymore, but I came out of basically retirement like half a month ago to, well, join this race. We also have Melon here.
Hi, I'm melonmarblepop. I'm technically on a newer for runs. I usually don't do any percent. I'm more the all items guy. But obviously I'm here to win the race.
Yeah.
And for a little more lore, eveldee is our current world record holder. I guess I'm technically next after that. Melon is fairly new, but has been practicing a lot. And then Mian is one of the main verifiers for all of our runs. And a lot can go wrong, so eveldee doesn't automatically win, but eveldee is slated to be on the upper half.
Yeah,
even
everything
though my
can go...
PB is 10 minutes behind, I can win. Just need everyone else to fail.
Yeah, I think like we cannot decide. We cannot get the winner until the very end, because in this game, errors can make you lose minutes, whole minutes. So yeah, everything's playable for anyone. Alright, is everyone ready?
I'm ready.
Should we do a countdown or something?
Sure.
Alright.
Send us away, champion.
3, 2, 1, 0. Alright.
Good luck.
Good luck, everyone.
Good luck.
So, basic mechanics of this game. We have health, we have mana, we have stamina. Stamina is very important because if you run out of stamina and you try to do anything movement-wise, you'll get a cute little trip. And that wastes a lot of time, so we don't want to do that. As you'll notice, for a lot of the movement sections, we're going to be jumping and smacking once or twice. That helps us preserve stamina, because you only lose stamina when you actually jump.
Yeah.
So a lot of this opening segment is going to be just movement.
We're going to see this tech used a lot. Like, stamina management in this game is a key point of speedrunning it. There are going to be a lot of different pegs with the jumps, but for now we're just using it to save some stamina. So a bit of lore about the game. So as Shin said, Witch Nobeta is like a game where you control a witch that can use different types of magics, and it is actually a Souls-like game. So that means this game is made to be hard, especially in the difficulty we're playing, which is advanced. So like, no boss is easy job in this game. Everything is quite hard, and all the runners here are really good to be able to just complete a run under like 1 hour. It's really not easy. It's like usual Souls-like thingies. But yeah, the big quirk of this game is that you're not using swords or shield or bows, just using magic to do all the fights and kill the enemies. It's really nice.
So this upcoming room for all of us, there's a little black cat at the end of the room that's getting attacked by 2 enemies. We have to tag the enemies in the back so they run at us, and then we're going to try to line everybody up and take them out.
Yeah, always really tricky to do, depending on where the enemy position. Like, it will often happen that things do not go the way you want to be in this game. That's normal. There's a lot of RNG involved in many tricks. I guess you can always adapt, you know. That's kind of the point of running this game in a marathon. It's really different than when trying to do Pvs because like, obviously you cannot reset, so you have to deal with a bad RNG or the good RNG when it happens. Makes it interesting in different ways. So as you can see, this game there will be two big gameplay points, I'd say, which are the platforming sections, which are way more complex than it may look like, and the fighting sections against bosses. And they play quite differently, but both are evenly important to get a good time on this game. So you're going to see that everyone is going to get to armor sooner or later, and this will be the first boss of the game, which is not that long, but already gives an idea about how boss fights go on. And after this fight, we're going to get to Underground, which is the second level of the game. The first one was quite short. And this is where we're going to unlock a really nice magic, which is a wind magic, which allows us to double jump. And this will unlock a lot of movement decks as the game go on.
Probably should have explained it before you fought that boss, but whoa, dog.
Yeah, it's melon dog.
One of the coolest things about this game is that instead of like ammo, your magic constantly goes up and down as you shoot, and you're also rewarded for either attacking things in melee, or parrying, which we're going to unlock very soon, or dodging. So it's very aggressive if you want to be fast.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you have 3 resources in this game, which are HP, mana, stamina, and the two most important are stamina and mana. Actually, it's not even HP. Like, you can be full HP, if you have no mana, you cannot do anything against bosses, so it would be useless. I really need to manage those 3 resources correctly. Takes a while to get used to.
So with this upcoming section, I don't know where Mian's going, but I'm going the old route, where we used to get an upgrade for our first magic, and Melon and Eveldee are going the new route and skipping it.
Yeah.
And that will come up later for why we do that.
There's a really difficult jump to do if you want to skip the Arcane magic, but yeah. As I said, you can improvise even if you miss things. The most important is to not fail important things. Like using a few seconds, I'd say this game is alright. Cannot control everything. Alright, and we're also unlocking in this section the absorption magic, which allows us to counter. And this is going to be a key point in the following boss fights. Because as Shen said, mana is really important in this game, and the best way to recover mana to use your magic spells is to counter enemy attacks. So how counter works in this game is that you can counter any source of damage, but it needs to be a source of damage. So whenever you're going to take damage, if you press the melee button just before, it's going to counter. So the timing is really precise, it's like 150 milliseconds before taking damage, and it nullifies the damage and regenerates HP and mana. So that's really nice thing. But it's easy to get the timing correct, but that's going to help us a lot during boss fights.
So it'll come up a lot on the next main boss. Her name is Tanya. If you see a big purple circle while Nobeta is holding out her staff in front of her, that's a parry.
Yeah. We're going to use counters a lot against Tanya and the third boss. So the one after this. After those two, it's mostly going to use crystals, so less counter required to the bosses. But the counter magic is still useful if you miss things. It's a really nice backup against most bosses. Can get you out of difficult situations. Alright. So Tanya's second boss is really different from the first one because she is attacking way more, it's more tanky, and you need to use your counter magic to get this mana. So it plays really differently and it's a really nice fight. That unfortunately is quite usually RNG dependent. I think like it's among the few bosses that are more RNG dependent. Seal that will be going up way later is the second one. And after beating Tanya, we're going to get to Lava Winds, which is the third level of the game with a quite different theme, since as the name implies, there's going to be a lot of lava, so it's going to be tricky. In this game, if you touch lava, you die instantly, and it can lead to huge time losses, because we intentionally skip a lot of checkpoints or paths to go back to save time, but that means if we die, since we do not take those, it can lead to huge time loss. And this is also where we're going to get most of our base stats. So since it is Souls-like game, you can get Souls to increase your stats. The most useful one is Intelligence, which is the one we're going to upgrade the most, which is basically your damage scaling, so your magic damage scaling. There is also Strength that increases your melee damage, but we mostly use magic damage in this run. So we're going to increase Intelligence a lot.
Also, upcoming is going to be where the differences for getting Arcane 2 and just Ice are.
Yeah. The big doll that is coming up plays out quite differently depending on if you use Ice or Arcane 2. Clearly not the same fight. Like, the ice method to do this enemy is kinda using a cheese that we discovered really recently, I think a few months ago, which allows you, if you go on a small collider on top of a door, allows you to do not get aggro by the enemy. So the enemy won't do anything, actually you can just shoot at it. Meanwhile, if you do the usual Arcane strat, you're going to have to dodge attacks and counter or anything. One thing that just happened to me and that can happen in this game is that when you take damage, there's a chance you get staggered. So especially in Lava Winds, we need to be really careful about not getting staggered, especially when we're jumping on top of lava or things like that. And that's why usually when people jump, you may see them strafing left or right during the jump. That's to avoid getting hit by the enemies. Fortunately, all the enemies in Little Witch Nobeta make a lot of noise when attacking, so you can know even if an enemy is behind you when it's going to attack. It's very nice. I would say that this game has a ton of sound cues actually. It's really important to know those and use them to your own advantage. Like especially with the counters, I don't know if it's the same for everyone running, but I use sound a lot with counters. I would never be able to play this game without sound. It's just impossible. Alright. There's what I call the crystal ride section, which is a section where we're riding on top of a crystal. And we should usually be waiting for the platform to go all the way around, but we can actually do nice jump tricks to use the ledge on the right to just keep waiting for the platform to go forward. It's really tricky, quite risky. If you miss your jump here, you lose like 3 minutes because you respawn at the real beginning of the level. But yeah, quite a nice trick. Not sure everyone is going to do it, but...
And then you also have to send the platform all the way back.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Oh, actually, yeah. If you die here, you need to wait for the platform to go back.
This is like the worst place to die in the whole game.
Oh, clearly. It's just a run killer. Usually in the run, if you're not running in marathon, if you die here, just reset. Like, there is no point in continuing. Like, Lava Winds is merciless. This level is insane. Alright. I have the third boss head, which is a bear. Kind of like Tanya, we're going to need to use the counter mechanic a lot, so a lot of charge ice magics and countering. But one thing I forgot to mention in this game is that you have 4 different types of magic: Arcane, Fire, Thunder, and for each of those magics you can charge your spell. charging a spell allows you to release different type of spell for each magic. So for ice magic, for example, it allows you to block enemies and drop projectiles on it. This attack deals a ton of damage, so basically against Tanyan Bear, that's what we're trying to do. Just charge the spell and cast as many charge ice as possible. That's what deals the most damage.
Also, the only item we're gonna buy or pick up in the game pretty much are purple crystals, which give us a lot of mana to charge easier.
Yeah, purple crystals are going to be really important. Going up. Like that will allow us to charge spell really fast, especially when we're going to get thunder magic, where we can just abuse purple crystals. So you're going to see us buying a ton of them. The second phase after killing the bear is the fight against Big Bonica. This fight is kinda linear in the sense that there is no RNG involved, she always does the same attacks. So if you know the patterns correctly, you can always do the same strat here. Just a question of getting your damage output and the counters done correctly. Which is not that easy. It may seem like it's easy when you're seeing 4 players doing that, but it clearly is not. It's all a question of managing your mana, HP, stamina. It's always really hard. Oh, I missed the fire thing. Maybe Shen is going to do it.
Oh.
I'm lucky.
Thanks for reminding me, I'll try it.
Yeah. If at least one of us gets it, it would be funny. So, after Monica fight, if you drop into lava during the cutscene, you're going to have your screen red, but like you're not going to die since it triggers the cutscene. That's quite a fun visual glitch, but that does not change anything. Just for the beau jeu, as I like to say.
Just for fun, and then you can throw your run if you mess it up.
Yeah, if you drop into lava before the cutscene triggers, you're just dead. That's basically why I missed it. I jumped too early and I just recovered the ledge. Didn't want to drop into lava. It's basically high risk, zero reward. Clearly something you do not want to do when speedrunning a game. Coming up is Dark Tunnel, which is the first level of the game, and it's starting with a really nice glitch, which is a hard skip at this point. I don't know how much skip we skip, but yeah, this glitch evolved a ton the past years. It's a really nice one, really hard one, and clearly shows the potential of the platforming sections of this game. Like, it's really impressive to see someone climb on objects that you should not be able to climb, actually. It's not intended at all. It's clearly not the casual pass. Yeah, it's really nice to see that. We're just keeping a whole section by doing some crazy things. I think the developers of this game watched some speedrunning of it, because I made some referrals, and I think they're like,
Yeah.
what are those guys doing, actually? This is not how you're supposed to play the game. Makes
Yeah, and
no
they keep
sense.
patching out speedrun tag.
Yeah, they patched a lot of them. But fortunately, we can still play on a quite recent version, so we can use most of the new skins in this category at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're not playing on the latest version, or I guess no one is. It's better to play in previous versions of the game.
Yeah, no one is anymore, thankfully. Because they patched out a specific tech that nerfs you a lot if you play on the live version.
Something you're going to see a lot in this game too is that we're often resetting to the statue. There are two reasons why we do that. The first one is that sometimes it just teleports us back to somewhere closer to where we need to go. For example, when you pick up Thunder in Dark Tunnel. But it's also because we use a load remover time. So that means we do not count the time passed into loading screens. Because in these games, loading screens are really dependent on your hardware. And that makes it so if we want the race to be fair, we need to remove those loading times. I think that, for example, I have the fastest loading times, and it's like 1 minute faster than some other runners. So yeah, we really need to remove those. So we can abuse this fact and then reload a lot of times to win time, since we don't count these loading times. And here I look the magic, which will be used for all the following boss fights. It's really OP. It's basically a snipe. Like, it's one shot of really high damage that is really precise, has a great range. And it's really useful because in this game there is a net shot damage modifier. So if you hit enemies in the head, it's going to do more damage, and with thunder you can basically one-shot any standard enemy using that shot. It's just for bosses, we're going to use a charged thunder attack, which is really powerful too. So this is really the game-breaking magic of this run. No.
And normally in the section that eveldee and I am in, this area is really hard to navigate because it's very dark.
Yeah.
But since we know where we're going, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, the first time you get into Dark Tunnel when you're playing the game, for the first time, it can be either scary or just like disturbing because you just don't know where you're going to. It's really dark and there are a lot of different paths. Like the first time you play the game, I remember getting stuck for a while there. It happens a lot actually in this game. Especially with those small puzzles, when you get a new magic. It's easy to get stuck somewhere. Alright, Vanessa Red, quite different fight using thunder. A really precise fight too. If you do not do the fight in a similar order as I am doing, you may get issues, because if she gets in phase 2, she takes basically no damage for like 30 seconds, and then she's going to attack way more, so you really want the fight to go the way you usually do it. But there's a range involved, of course, so sometimes it does not go really well. And after Vanessa, we're going to get to Spirit Realm, which is quite a different level because it's really open and bright, because we will not be indoors anymore, which is a big change compared to the previous levels. And as a small trivia for people that may not know, the 3 bosses that I just fought, so Tanya, Monica, and Vanessa are all voiced by all live YouTubers. So Tanya is by Polka, Monica is by Fubuki, and Vanessa is by Noel, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Yeah. So like, this is a really nice thing to get some streamers as voice actors in game. It really surprises people usually. They're like, wait, this game is really indie, like nobody knows the game, but some really popular idols made some voice acting in it. That's kind of
Yeah,
surprising.
and Nobeta's Seiyu is Konomi Kohara,
Yeah, really nice
if you
one.
look her up.
She did a really nice job.
Uh-oh.
I really hope for the other games they plan to get either the same voice actors or really good ones like that.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Like, the game might be really low budget, but having good voice actors is really nice. So continuing the traditional Nobeta speedrunning way, it is platforming sections into bosses, into platforming section. It's basically all the same. You kill a boss, you go to the next one by doing some platforming. And in Spirit Realm, it is no exception. Really nice platforming sections with insane tricks actually, which are really hard to do too. I'd say Spirit Realm is like the second most difficult level, just after Lava Ruins. Or maybe it's harder than Lava Ruins, I'm actually not really sure. Yeah, both are really hard. Especially since the run is quite optimized now. A lot of change have been made to the route. And this game, I think, got really hard. If you go to the older routes, it's okay-ish, but with the new ones, like, you're constantly doing precise platforming tricks or really nice fights, boss fights, so yeah.
Yeah, it used to be so chill. This game was so easy and relaxing.
Yeah.
Nothing hard ever happened. And now
It's
it's
not the
very
same
stressful
thing.
and difficult.
Wait, what is she doing? Oh my god. Seal
I
moment.
hope Seal rings you out.
Yeah. I mean, that's usual Seal.
Soul Calibur Seal, please pull through for me.
I think I'm not going to die at Seal, but I'm going to lose a bit of time to it. That's fine. That's usual Seal. Is it? Alright. The Seal is this fight where when people started running this game, it was quite an easy fight because we could abuse Arcane stagger effects and just cast Arcane and Arcane and Arcane like until the boss died. But now we use Thunder for this fight and it makes the fight like 10 times more difficult. It went from really chill fight to the horrible one. But that's the cost of doing things faster. If you want to be fast, you need to do risky things. And this game is no exception. And of course, following the Monica thing, Seal has two phases too. Which are Seal 1 and Seal 2, and the two are quite different actually. Please. Oh. Seal moment. That's why I said in this game you need to know your backups. Because you're going to need to do backup strat a lot of time. Like things never go the way you want them to go. It
That's
can be
what I'm up to
small
right now.
details, but it changes a lot of things. Do I get that? Oh yeah, I did actually. That's really nice. So that attack I did, where I was charging Arcane it was to hit through the gate because I passed through the magic barrier. And you cannot usually do damage through those barriers, but it appears that Arcane magic goes through barriers. That's actually a thing you use at the really start of the game. And it allowed me to kill the enemy even by being on the other side. Ooh, that was close. The enemies in this game really like to jump scare you, honestly. Like, taking teleporters takes ages in Nobeta, and if an enemy hits you during the animation, just knockbacks you out. But yeah, you can always use those 4 different types of magic depending on the situation. Like, even if you have a solid way to do a boss, it often happens that you need to swap out to another magic depending on the situation. It's never acquired. Right. Going up is a return of Vanessa. She wants a second chance to beat Nobeta. And this time, I'd say the fight is more linear, except if you fail. The usual stuff. We're going to see. Alright. So as I said, we just abuse purple crystals. If we change them in a specific order, it allows us to completely skip our attacks. Just go to phase 2 and kill her during the phase 2 transition. Which makes this fight really easy. Like when you're playing this game the usual way, Vanessa 2 is exceptionally hard because when she goes into phase 2 she's really fast, throws projectiles at you, thunder can spawn anywhere. That's an awful fight.
Melon has almost caught up to me.
Oh,
Oops.
fighting for for the podium here.
You're very hard, very far ahead.
Yeah, I don't have the viewpoint, so I do not really know, but I guess. And my run so far has been okay, like no big misplays. I did some few misplays, but no really big ones, I'd say. And this is what carries in this game. Like when you're playing in marathon, I guess the best is just to play something safe, because making mistakes in this game is no joke.
Yeah, normally we just reset because you lose so much time for messing most things up.
Yeah. Like any mistake costs too much. Let's say the winner of a race in this game is basically decided on who does the less mistakes, the least mistakes. It's like very important. There are a lot of things that can save you like 2 or 3 seconds, which are worth it if you want to try to PB, but clearly not in marathon. Still been trying to play risky to showcase everything the game has to showcase. Yeah, some things are just out of the question with doing runs like that. Alright, up ahead is the Abyss Trials, so that's one of the last sections of the game. We're going to do 3 different trials, which are actually located in previous levels, if you pay attention. Not really easy to see because it's really dark in the trials. But for example here it's the underground section, which we are doing in reverse. And we need to complete those 3 trials before being able to go to the last boss of the game, which will know the time. It's just a question of going into each one of them, doing the trial, and then doing the same for the others. In the first trial we have a really nice beach found by Mian, I think, which allows us to go through a magic barrier, which saves the need to do either a really long fight against enemies that are immune to magical damage, so you can do melee damage, or climb back up using a dodgy tech that allows you to kinda climb on a wall, which is really not fun to do. Usually the trials are kind of a chill section of the game. Not the hardest platforming section, just a lot of text, like you need to know what you're doing, but that's basically all. I'd say the third trial is the one that became the hardest. It was not before, but now it is. First and second one are quite easy now. Well, depending on which order I do them, of course. Because I'm saying first and second, but you can actually do the trials in any order. You do not have to start left or right. So this enemy, the ninja doll, like I call her, is a really special enemy that usually dodge your attacks. So what we're doing here is just casting magic on top of us, since we unlock Thunder 4, which nullifies the self-damage, to just hit her when she's TPing on you. Really nice way to do this enemy, because otherwise she can be annoying, dodging all your attacks. And the third trial changed really recently, actually, because I found a way to skip a lover that we were interacting with to lower the lava level, and Muki found a tech to kill the enemies just below, just after. So the combination of those 2 techs allows us to do the third trial really fast. It's basically just charging thunder and then going through it, which is really nice. And this tech, with the addition of Arcane 2 skip, are the 2 techs that define the latest world record. So the one previous, the current one, did not use those 2 techs, but with those 2 that were found, the world record changed again. Like, we thought we found everything possible in this game, but apparently not. We still find new things. But that's thanks to all the runners that are playing this game. Everyone finds things. That's really nice. Like, when you just regroup everything, everyone found, you can get a really nice route. it could be really interesting to get a task made for this game using all the best splits, but unfortunately we never did that. I don't know what the best theoretical time would be. Alright. So here I just use quite a nice trick that allows us to use a statue before the cutscene pops. So that allows us to buy the crystal and then reset. Just keep it entirely. And it is thanks to the fact that Thunder slows the game down and it also slows down the timer before cutscenes. So you can actually move before the cutscene triggers, which would not be possible with the Thunder. And I'm getting to no Nota at most of the game. I'm going to try to not mess it up, but basically I'm just going to spam charge Thunder attacks. The hard part of this fight is to get her staggered. Hopefully I will do it. Right, one. Oh, nearly missed that one. And GG's. Time for me.
You got a really good time.
Yeah, actually, I got a better time than all
What
the
the heck?
training runs I did. This is actually second place, I think. I think this is top 2. Top 2 of the leaderboard. Just behind world record.
Casual little 32.
Because you're literally sub 33 is insane actually. I was hoping to do a sub 34, but it's sub 33. So I can commentate on the other runners now. So we have still Mian, Shengon, and Melon going. The Shen and Melon are both in the Abyss part of the game, which is the last level. So they are going to get to the trials. And Mian is actually in Spirit Realm fighting on the unfathomable Seal. I really dislike Seal, but not sure Mian is going to do well. So I think Shen is kinda ahead, but I would say nothing is played out yet. Yeah. You did say Melon was catching up to you, but maybe it is a mistake I didn't see.
Yeah, we were even at Seal, because I fell a bunch of times.
I guess now you're back up ahead. But it's still close. Like for example, if any die at any trial it could. Or even just missing no notas with you maybe. I don't know. I'm going to see.
Yeah. So I have some hot race tech. So I found that all you 19 intelligence users, if you hit yourself with Charged Thunder, you won't die if you're at full health.
Yeah.
Since I take 20 though, I do. I learned that if you get 1 point in health, you don't. So I did that.
Oh, that's actually funny.
I broke the sacred rule and I bought health.
Like else level 2. I actually never knew that. This thing is 19. So the reason I'm going with intelligence 19 and maybe others are doing it is because in this game you cannot really count on the fact that you're always going to have the same amount of souls because it depends on which enemies you are able to kill during the platforming sections. So usually I add either 19, 20 or 21. And since it's better to always have the same amount of intelligence to know how to space your damage, I just play with 19 now. So if I have more souls, good. If I have less, at least I'm 19. So it's really important to know your damage output and how to interact. So now I just run with 19. And I compensate the lower intelligence level by adding some damage on some bosses like Vanessa and Nobeta using a tech that is called Magic Swap, which allows you to cast 2 different types of magic. Because in this game, each magic has a separate cooldown. So for example, you can do a Thunder attack, which will trigger the Thunder cooldown, but before the Thunder cooldown comes back, you can do a Fire attack. So you can alternate between Thunder, Fire, Thunder, Fire. And that's how I go to Magic Swap, which is really useful on some enemies if you run with lower intelligence level. But sometimes they just give up with pure HP, like Nonota and Vanessa. Shen is getting to the current trial, where we will go to see the lava lover skip. It's really, really nice. A tech that allows you to skip long interaction with the lover. I think it's like 15 seconds, something like that. He's done it perfectly. Very nice. And getting those two enemies. Nice. So as I said, those two things and other time saves were found really recently actually. Like the run is still getting updated regularly, and I think the last world record was 2 months ago, something like that. So even though the game is really old, there are still new things found. Really nice in my opinion. Shen is getting to Nonota and Melon is doing the same trial. So the difference between the two players is not that much. Melon did a really nice backup with melee attacks to not fall down.
I almost missed the statue.
I just saw the drop down. That was really close actually. I think the second place will place on if Shen succeeds at skipping the second phase of Nonota or not.
Focus.
If Shen misses the space to skip, it's going to be really, really close. As I say, now with a new way of doing Nonota, it's less probable to lose this one. Like before, using the Thunder Spam, we started the fight using fire melee attacks, and it was quite nice to see, but less nice to run actually. Because you could miss it really easily. But now the stagger is quite consistent, and all the point of the fight is getting this stagger. Like this. Yeah. Queen will. I'm really impressed actually how the two of you are so close. That's really nice. Getting on the last
That was very
purples.
risky. I shouldn't have done that.
And time for Shen 2. Nice. And Melon is coming up. Jeez. Solid 38 actually. That's usually the times I do in a marathon. That's usually the times I do in a marathon. I think all the last times I showcased this game, I died at bear or something. Like, it's happened so often. And Melon is doing the same strat, but Nonota is getting really out of area. Oh. Melon got the last thunder, max range. That was nice.
Oh
So the
my
thing with
goodness.
Nonota is that if you push her out of the area, you cannot cast your thunder, because you can only cast thunder on top of solid ground. So if she goes out, you cannot damage her with thunder. And Melon got it perfectly to the max range for the last one. GG's.
GG's.
That was really close actually.
Yeah, during the seal fight, I jump across to go where she was going. I just jumped off.
Oh no.
I had to reset one time because of that. Oh man.
Gosh. I died one
That's the
time at
same
lava
when
runes.
Did you die at lava runes?
Yeah, I died in lava runes. I had to wait for it to
no.
come back.
Yeah, I think Melon and Mian both died of lava because I think I was at Monica and I looked over and they were both at the beginning statue and I was like, oh no. Something awful happened.
Something happened. Yeah, that's Nobeta. It's really easy to die with a small mistake.
Yeah. Something, I don't know if you mentioned this because maybe I was too locked in, too focused. The double jump in this game, I know someone mentioned the movement. The double jump in this game is not based on you touching the ground again, it's based on a cooldown timer. So if you stay in the air long enough, you can just keep double jumping over and over, and we use that a lot in the run.
Yeah, I did not mention it here.
We probably should have mentioned that because there's a lot of parts where that comes into play.
It's what we call the jump extension, which as Shen said, the double jump effect is actually based on the cooldown and not touching the ground. So you can chain double jumps and reach some places you should not be able to reach, usually. It's a very nice thing.
I'm also
So,
glad you decided to sit on this frame during the cutscene so we can show off our different costumes.
Oh yeah, that's actually really cool. So as you can see, most runners in this game use different skins, which is really nice.
There's
Everyone
so
has
many. I
different
think there's
skins.
like 14 now, 16-ish.
Yeah, something like that. There are a lot of them.
So like each of the different runners have their own like identity, I guess, with which costume they use.
That's nice. And Mian is coming up to the 3 trials now. I'm not sure which order they are going to do them. I guess left to right. I think everyone did left to right.
Yeah, we always
This
did.
is,
Well,
the
I did
new skip.
back before it mattered.
Yeah, previously I was doing right to left, and Shen has always been doing left to right. And back then it did not change anything, so you could do right or left. It was the same. But now Mookie found a deck that forces to start with the left one. So I guess Shen was just, I don't know.
Nothing
He,
changed.
he just knew something was coming up, you know. Always been running from left to right. Right, Bien with a barrier trick. Go through. Very nice trick. And then we go to the second trial, which is the one with Thunder Magic and Rock. It's really funny because I've seen multiple people just sleeping from the platform on top of the trials. It does not change anything because you have way enough 8 to like back up this one. But it really shows that people just grid the jumps. Diamond is doing the same take by charging Thunder. So in this trial, usually there's a boulder that falls down the stairs, and if you're not using Thunder, you should be waiting that it goes down, crash down, and then go up. But since charged Thunder magic slows the game, the boulder slows down, so you can actually go up the stairs before it even starts going down. And when you reach the top of the stairs, it just breaks. Really nice take. Allows you to save a lot of time too. I think there are a lot of places where we use time slow of Thunder Magic to do some really nice takes. I like that.
If we had extra mana, there's so many more spots we could use it too.
Oh yeah, clearly. So many things you can do with these time speed and time slow effect. So actually I said time slow, but Charge Thunder is really specific because it slows down everything aside from Nobeta. So the character you control, Nobeta actually speeds up with Thunder Magic. And the speed effect and slow effect scales on the Thunder level. So at this point in the game we are Thunder level 4, and this speed up and slow down effect is starting to be really noticeable. So
Mian's gonna go for the crazy new stuff.
I think so. For the one purple.
I'll risk no reward.
I mean, you can do the old way, still with one
No.
purple.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, we still use one
That's true.
purple. I can see. Is Mian going to go down? Yeah, Mian is going to go down. And let's go ice trick. So this trick is really strange because you may see us jumping into the lava and not taking damage. But the thing is that
Beautiful.
the devs messed up the collider of the lava. So if you get really close to the wall, you're not going to take lava damage for some reason. It's just a developer's error.
Colliders in
Mm,
Unity are
like-
kind of frustrating, so I don't blame them for
Yeah.
not having the box be accurate.
Imagine colliders being accurate. Never happened.
I missed. Oh my god! You need to look at my seal fight. There, I think I whiffed like 4 thunder shots that went through her face. I'm so sad.
Seal in the collider is really incomprehensible. Like, makes no sense. You can be shooting directly at Seal and she would not take damage. Makes no
Stop.
sense. And they return to statue into Nonota. Go.
Good luck.
Is everyone going to get the phase 2 skip? We're going to see that. From what I've seen, everyone has done a really good job at the trials and Nonota actually.
Trials are like the only things that I'm good at in this game.
I think
My
that's basically
average
just
is
try
like
again.
tied with my golds. It's like the only thing I never ever mess up really bad.
that makes this run really special when you're trying to PB because basically everything is decided in the Spirit Realm and more specifically after Seal because Vanessa has small time variation except if you fucking mess up. So that's really funny because in this game when you end Spirit Realm you basically know your time already. Really small delta between your best possible time at the end of Spirit Realm and the end of Abyss. Right, is Mian going able to back this one up? I don't think so. Yeah. Nobeta is going to face you. Unfortunately.
Yeah, that would be really hard to do.
Phase 2 is way more outfight than Phase 1. I think Mian is just going to manage. With the purple it should go really well. She takes huge damage from Thunder. And with all the mana you get to start, it's really nice. And as you can see, Nonota usually is a really nice boss because she's actually using in Phase 1 all the magics you can use. So Arcane Ice, Fire Thunder. And in Phase 2 she's using the previous boss's attack. So she can use Light Attack, Tanya Attack, Bear Attacks. Really nice.
Oh my goodness, Mina's showing off for the phase 2.
Really nice strats there. And GG's.
GG's.
Thanks.
GG.
Oh.
Was a really nice run actually.
Yeah.
Are we all going to the
Monday.
credits at the same time?
I want to see the point of view of Mian with the skin actually.
Oh, okay, yeah, we'll just
So
like
we have the 4 of them. And then we can skip
we don't have to do the credits
Yeah.
because it's a little special.
Yeah.
We'll leave it as a surprise if you buy the game on Steam right now for half off. And then you can see all the cutscenes that we skipped because the story's kind of crazy.
Oh yeah, the story is really particular. It's legit impossible to explain the story during a run. So many things that are
Yeah.
that you need to understand before. So many hints during the story. Yeah,
Nice,
you
we're
need
all
to
lined
take
up.
this time. That's perfect. Beautiful. Nice. GG.
GG's everyone.
GG.
GG's.
And really big thanks to Ahmad for organizing the Derpathon marathon. It was insane being able to organize a big Nobeta race like that. It's the first time we do that.
Yes.
It's really, really nice. We really needed to do one at some point.
And shoutouts to Mookie, who's not here, but hopefully returns.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Mookie is sleeping due to time zone differences. Unfortunately. But, yeah, it would have been nice to have Mookie here too, but maybe another time. We'll see. But yeah, we got some really nice runs there. And Zero
Zero.
basically does not run the game anymore.
Shoutouts to Zero, please play the game again. Stop
Please, Zero,
procrastinating.
come back. We need you. There are a lot of really nice runners in this game. I'd say it's small speedrunning community, but it's a really nice one. Unfortunately, we got a lot of new runners recently because like most of the original runners do not rerun it anymore. It was still really nice to see Mian
Except
running
for
it again.
me! I'm the only
Yeah.
one still alive.
Yeah, Shiny is from the really start of the speedrunning.
I was the first and I'll be the last. I'll never. I still probably
He'll
won't get world record, but that's okay.
You'll outlive everyone. But yeah, thanks so much for organizing and thanks to all the runners here, so to Melon, Shen and Mian. It was a really, really nice race.
Yeah.
And thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.